Coming to this game 2-1, just off of a loss against Davidson. The Hokies 3-0 after a convincing win last time out against St. Joseph's. Tip-off goes the way of Jailen Bedford, and we are underway here in Blacksburg.
Charlotte also with a lot of newcomers, none better than the center, Anton Buck.
The 7-2 transfer out of Providence as the ball is loose. And here is Neokli Avdalas running the point for Virginia Tech. And we focused on Hansberry there in the open, but there's no doubt that Avdalas has gotten a lot of the national love so far for Virginia Tech, and well-deserved.
The NBA loves this guy. Virginia Tech fans are loving this guy too. 33 against Providence, projected as a lottery pick by the NBA.
Hansberry gets the roll on the three.
He struggled in the first two games from long range early and then shoots the ball well lately, but that's bad news for the opponent when he can get off to a good start.
Yeah, Hansberry, a guy that takes a ton of threes, just under a 30% three-point shooter. Still tries it for the Hokies. Meanwhile, a layup goes for Mingo, the senior from Hamilton, Ontario.
Yeah, the transfer from Marshall is a really good point guard. The rest of the team is sort of getting used to playing with him.
Oh, Hansberry hands it off to Jailen Bedford, another one of those newcomers for Virginia Tech that has really stood out. Lawal muscling his way right to the hoop and gets the score for Tech.
Each game we see a move that he couldn't make a year ago, much improved.
And that really has been the theme so far this year for Virginia Tech, much improved with the newcomers added to Mike Young's roster, as well as a guy like Tobi Lawal, a returner, who has really stepped it up. So here is Avdalas running the point for Virginia Tech, the freshman from Greece. Standing in at 6'9", double teams already there for him. There's Hansberry, lost the ball, and a foul is called on the 49ers. That's going to go on Bradford. Mike Young in his 7th season as the Virginia Tech head coach. Trying to go 4-0 for the first time in 3 seasons here in Blacksburg. And just had such a convincing victory, Mac, against St. Joseph's. You got to remember, the Hawks beat the Hokies by 20 last year, and Virginia Tech laid the beatdown. It was a 35-point victory because of plays like that from Jailen Bedford.
Yeah, 2 good wins for the Hokies already. Providence is going to be a potential NCAA team, and so is St. Joe's out of the A-10.
Virginia Tech back on defense. Here comes Mingo splitting the defense, swinging out for Butler. Bonk with the rebound, and the 7'2" big man is able to hook it in.
He is going to be a challenge for Virginia Tech. He is huge and very skilled.
Here comes Avdalas, swing it out into the corner. Hansberry thought about it. Bedford for the tray. He's got it.
I don't know who the best shooter on this team is, but it's a really short conversation, and Bedford is in the team picture. I know that.
Yeah, the transfer from UNLV working his way into the starting lineup after such a promising preseason. As that rattles out, Tyler Johnson, one of those returners for Virginia Tech that we haven't mentioned yet. Here is Bedford off the side of the backboard, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And Bailey, that's where Virginia Tech has been so good this year, in transition, and a lot of it due to Avdalas being able to throw ahead and the Hokies running the floor.
Well, Aaron Fern looking on as the head coach of Charlotte, native of New Zealand, in his 3rd season as the Charlotte head coach. Came in the interim role after Coach Sanchez went to Virginia to be Tony Bennett's top assistant, as Bedford misses the front end of 2 shots.
Yeah, Coach Furman is a very entertaining guy. I met him this summer at a clinic in Charlotte and had a great conversation with him last night. And I think he's got a good plan for Charlotte, and he certainly made a big addition with the off-season transfer portal.
And if you look at the Charlotte roster, Fern himself played in Australia from New Zealand. Most of the Charlotte roster, a lot of international guys have made the trip down to North Carolina to play there.
Yeah, and he talked about the fact that they just have a different experience. And speaking of experience,
there's Bonk coming from Vanuatu, a small country in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Here comes Bedford. Slides it over to Avdalas. Oh, what a pass from Avdalas. Here comes Hansberry, finishes at the hoop with a miss, and then a rebound pulled down by Ethan Butler, who gets the start today.
Yeah, and Bonk didn't get the block shot, but he sure influenced that shot.
That's going to stay with Charlotte.
Yeah, the penetration caused help. Nobody to block the big guy out.
77, Antonio Dorn.
We talked about this yesterday with Coach Fern. Anton Bonk is a guy who didn't play basketball until he was around 16 years old. It wasn't very popular in the small island nation of Vanuatu that only has about 350,000 people. So he basically learned how to play basketball off of YouTube.
Yeah, he actually grew up, as you can imagine, in an island country, rowing.
Made his way to the United States with a friend, played some JUCO ball in Arizona, got himself to Providence, didn't play much last year, and he's still trying to pick up some experience. Meanwhile, the Hokies bring in their own international big man in Antonio Dorn. Avdalas can't get the mid-range to go, and it goes back to Charlotte. Major Freeman draws a foul. And that goes to Tobi Lawal. Hokies enjoying a pretty good start here. Avdalas and company regrouping. It's 11-6 Virginia Tech.
Jackpot with this one. These are great guys. They care about winning, so it's been a joy coaching this group, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Tamara. We've seen a couple of those newcomers already hit a few shots here today. Jailen Bedford, 2 for 2 from the field. Sunk a 3. Meanwhile, for Charlotte, it'll be interesting here, Matt. Coel Mading is in. It's the first time he has played all season for the 49ers.
Yeah, he's been hurt this fall, a former starter at NC State, and they really like this young man.
Foul called on Virginia Tech.
This is a big team. We talked about Bonk, but they've got a lot of size. They've got a guy named Rehart who's 6'10", and a guy that won't play today, Yarna Ilona Iyenga, 6'10", who's been starting as a freshman.
Yeah, the absence of Yarna Ilona Iyenga is going to be tough for Charlotte today. That's a guy with some international experience, had played for Belgium internationally and actually against Neokli Avdalas. But meanwhile, Mading comes in and immediately makes a difference.
Yeah, and penetration just breaks the defense down and leaves somebody wide open because you have to help stop penetration.
Swinging into the corner. Dorn was open. Returns to Dorn. Swinging out for Bedford, who's been hot and stays hot.
That's really nice. We haven't seen a lot of Dorn yet. He didn't play the first game. Second game was Providence. It was back and forth a lot. But today we could see him a lot because of the size that Charlotte has.
Mingo goes coast to coast right at the hoop. Jailen Bedford starting out a perfect 3 for 3 as some subs look to check in for Virginia Tech, and Ben Hammond and Jaden shoot. Pop pass down to Dorn, pump fake right to the 10.
Yeah, Hokie fans are going to like it. They haven't seen him yet, but this guy is very, very skilled in addition to be a big body in there.
21-year-old freshman, also bringing some international experience, played a couple of years in the second tier of German professional basketball. Mingo steps back. Good poke by Bedford, keeps the ball alive and forces the turnover.
What a really good play, but Bedford is a great one-on-one defender.
Avdalas goes to the hoop and scores.
A playmaker. We talked pregame. There's a lot that's been said about him already, but there's not much he can't do out there.
That's his first points of the day. Already has 2 dimes for Virginia Tech.
Among the nation's leaders in assists.
Mingo. Bradford arcs up a 3. Bit too hard, and here comes Avdalas crashing in for the board.
Yeah, number 12 in America in assists at 7.3 a game.
Tobi Lawal swinging out for 3. Followed the shot. Tyler Johnson gets a second chance on this possession. Timeout called by Aaron Fern, and Virginia Tech has got its crowd up to its feet here in Castle. Double-digit lead for Virginia Tech, Mac.
Yeah, Avdalas has played off the dribble really well, can get to the rim. And then Tyler Johnson, the returnee, improved in every phase of the game.
Fans checking in for the Hokies out of the timeout. Number 2, Jailen Shute. And 3, Ben Hammond.
Right back here in the first half, a quick timeout taken by the 49ers. Tamara, what do you have?
Byrne was very clear about today's biggest challenge, stopping Virginia Tech's pace and their freshman sensation, Neokli Avdalas. And he told us Avdalas plays with incredible pace. He can shoot it, get to his spots, and create easy opportunities for others. So I can imagine that's why he called that quick timeout.
Yeah, no kidding there. 20-10, Virginia Tech saw the pace start to escalate a little bit, and the Hokies were able to get up by double digits here. Every player that has been in has scored. And now Jailen Shute and Ben Hammond will try to join that party here coming off of the bench after the timeout.
Couple Mike Young veterans coming off the bench who've really played well here early in the season in a different role than a year ago.
Jailen Shute on the defense, front rim on the 3. And here comes Ben Hammond, the point guard. Adding a bit of a different look that you could say than Neokli Avdalas at the 1 position.
Yeah, about a foot difference look.
Hammond certainly has improved this year. You can tell the confidence is there for the sophomore guard from Northern Virginia. Shot clock down to 10.
Player development so big for both of these programs, and both coaches do a great job.
Hammond, someone's going to have to shoot it here. Hammond chucks it up. Foul called, and we call it a shot clock violation.
Yeah, a little better defensive set right there for Coach Fern. He didn't like those back-to-back layups at the rim. Lawal's rebound on the other end, we didn't get a chance to talk about it because it went to the other end. But in a crowd, just rising above everybody.
Averaging just about 11 rebounds per game. The senior from London, England, one of 3 international players for Virginia Tech.
Harrison in, really looking to score the basketball as soon as he comes in.
And he does. Coach Fern had a lot of positive things to say about him in shoot-around yesterday. He's a guy that hunts for the 3 for the 49ers and a great leader for this team who's going to need even more out of him today if they're able to pull off an upset. Hansberry, though, wasting no time, gets fouled, and the West Virginia transfer will go to the line. Brings us to another timeout. Hokies up 20-12, 11:54 left to go here in the first half.
For off to a great start, getting all the way to the rim and doing what he does the very best, shooting from 3. This season, he is 7 out of 10, Bailey. 70% ain't bad for long range.
And Jailen Bedford was one of those guys that when he was added over the offseason, Mac, he didn't really garner as much of attention as, a guy like Neokli Avdalas, obviously, or Antonio Dorner, even Isaiah Pasha, the CAA Rookie of the Year. He's been one of the best pleasant surprises for this Virginia Tech team.
He really has. He has earned his way into that lineup. There's no question about that. And he is a weapon and has been really good here early in the season, averaging almost 13 points and 3.5 rebounds, in addition to what I mentioned, shooting 7 out of 10 from long range.
Hansberry, one of those guys added in the offseason after assistant coach Chester Frazier made his way back to Blacksburg. Able to hit both of his free throws there. As Hansberry has followed Frazier on the last couple of stops. Started out at Illinois, then West Virginia, and after Morgantown, came here to Blacksburg and has made a big difference here in the start of the season so far for Virginia Tech. Avdalas gets called for the foul, and that's going to be his second. And doesn't look like Avdalas approves of the call. Neither does the Blacksburg faithful here.
He fell, but he had his hand on him, but he did not cause the fall. Wrong place, wrong time for Avdalas. And 11 and a half minutes left in the half. And I imagine Mr. Avdalas will be on the bench for quite a bit of that, if not all of it.
And off to Mingo, so 2 fouls. See what Virginia Tech does in his absence here. Here's Spencer Elliott, front rim no good. An offensive board snatched by Kylan Blackman, getting his first playing time today.
Spencer Elliott's dad, Thomas Elliott, was a starter here at Blacksburg.
Yeah, actually went to high school in Chattanooga and then came to Virginia Tech and played here from 1989 to 1993.
Yeah, if I'd done a better job of recruiting, he wouldn't have come here.
There he is right now, Thomas Elliott. Well, he's wearing all Charlotte stuff today, though. No, there's no there's no doubt who he's rooting for here today.
Yeah, blood over alma mater.
Yeah. Lobbing it up for Bonk. Bonk goes back up. The block was there. It's a tie-up, and it gives the ball back to Virginia Tech.
How about that? Hansberry at 6'8", giving away 6 inches to Bonk. Contested the pass, but got the shot with great timing. And let me tell you this, there's a lesson right there. Always be the second guy off the floor in the post. If you're the first guy, you're at a disadvantage.
Well, after the good defensive play by Hansberry, Hokies get the ball back with the point guard Ben Hammond running it. And a walk is called on Jailen Bedford.
I've seen a lot of walking early in the season, but most of it hasn't been called, to be honest. A lot of people playing so fast.
Oh, Virginia Tech certainly has done that here today. Slowing down a bit here, though. A bit of an offensive drop for both teams. Charlotte trying to change that from Harrison. Too hard on the three. And here's Jaden Shoot.
We talked about Harrison looking for his shot. He's touched it twice and shot it twice.
Salmon veers off a screen, finds Hansberry. Johnson fights for the rebound, throws it off the back. And now here comes the 49ers. Arden Conyers into the game for the first time. Layup is no good, and Bonk comes in on cleanup duty.
Yeah, and Bonk's man, Hansberry, had to try to contest the layup. And when he didn't get that done, Bonk got the dunk.
Give it over to Hansberry now. Big jump stop and swatted away. Oh, the big man able to put a full palm on the ball, returning the favor after Hansberry forced the tie-up. And here comes the 49ers again after that ball was swatted out on the sideline.
The bigs getting after it, and Bonk with a big play on both ends of the floor.
Now Bonk already has 6 points for Charlotte, leading the way for this 49ers team, who's just coming off of a loss to Davidson, picked up a couple of wins to begin the year. Now with a test on the road against an ACC team. Oh, VR. Freshman from Barcelona, Spain, coming in.
Nice passer, big point guard, good vision.
Good effort by Johnson. Here comes Hansberry up the floor. Into the corner for Jaden Shoot. Rattles. Hansberry got the offensive board, and the Hokies restart for a moment. Bedford flings it up in the air. Hansberry, look at the effort. Bedford is there.
Did we talk about in the open offensive rebounding?
That possession was all Amani Hansberry there. A couple of offensive boards and setting up his man, Jailen Bedford, who now has 11 for Virginia Tech.
What effort.
VR hasn't gotten to play much this year. We're seeing a couple of guys come in for the 49ers who haven't gotten a ton of burn yet for Aaron Fern's team. Loose ball and corralled by Johnson. Bedford thought about it. Hokies continuing to move quickly. Hammond with a size mismatch and picks up the foul. Ben Hammond is fearless going up against a guy who's over a foot taller than him, and Anton Bonk, and now he's going to go to the line.
Yeah, Hammond finished last year really strong. Played well in February down the stretch for Mike Young's team, but he really worked in the offseason. And you know, we've mentioned it several times about player development, giving up some inches, but takes the body blow, keeps his eyes on the rim, and goes to the free throw line.
He was actually going against VR that time, so still a mismatch, but not as giant of a mismatch as if he went against Bonk.
Giant being the operative word.
Back in for the Hokies, number 77, Antonio Dorn, and 1, Tobi Lawal.
Tobi Lawal coming in, as well as Antonio Dorn. Hammond starting off the year, almost averaging double figures, got about 9 points per game. This is the second free throw, and here is Bonk.
Bonk with 6 points and 5 rebounds already in the game.
Major Freeman drives inside the perimeter, working off of Shoot, and draws the foul against the Duke transfer for Virginia Tech.
Both teams really trying hard to penetrate and pitch, and of course Charlotte's been able to penetrate and kick it to the big man or get a shot up, and then big man Bonk getting the offensive rebound. And Tech has dribbled more to the rim, either to shoot the basketball or kick it out for the three-point shot.
That's now 4 team fouls for Virginia Tech. Bradford. Jailen Bedford providing the tough defense on him, but a foul is called on the Hokies guard.
And that's that confidence of Ben Bradford, who got off to a great start with over 30 points in the opener against Indiana State for Charlotte.
Bradford starting out the game 0 for 4, first trip to the line.
Yeah, Charlotte 0 for 7 from the three-point line.
Well, and we were talking about this with Aaron Fern yesterday as he misses the first one. This team is trying to figure itself out, combining all of the cultures of basketball, just the cultures that they're bringing as people from all over the world on this Charlotte roster. And you even said it, you won't see truly good basketball from both teams or from any team until about January.
Yeah, I've been preaching that. Fans need to keep their expectations in check. They're going to see good basketball, but not consistently good basketball until all these teams sort the chemistry out.
Avdalas back into the game after picking up 2 fouls. Charlotte registered with a foul there. It's going to keep it on the floor. That goes on Arden Conyers.
Pretty cleanly played game for the most part, and a physical game too.
So the South Carolina transfer goes to the bench.
Veteran officiating crew here today, headed up by Jerry Heater.
And so far they've been busy, 10 total fouls. Jaden Shoot on the free throw line. Tobi Lawal providing Virginia Tech with another chance here.
Yeah, Shoot bailed on that after seeing Bunk in his path.
See what Avdalas can do here. Down low to Dorn. Now the big man spins and almost got it. Able to fight back though. Jaden Shoot lets it fly. A foul call down low. And it keeps the ball on this side of the floor.
Yeah, good job officiating right there. It was a physical play, but they just wanted to make sure it didn't escalate from the hard foul to anything else. They'll probably take a look at this. They'll probably take a look at it.
Taking a look here.
Certainly the foul was on Bonk.
As the personal foul is called on Virginia Tech.
All right, as they review it, we are going to break. 25-15, Hokies up 10.
The previous plays under review for possible flagrant foul.
Now, welcome back, everybody. We got an explanation with what happened right before we went to break. It's an initial foul
After
Virginia
review,
Tech, but then it's upgraded to a
49
flagrant
White
one
has been charged with a
Charlotte's
flagrant
Anton
1 foul.
So you see
Virginia
the
Tech will
initial
shoot
foul,
2 shots and ball
and
possession
then
on the end
comes
line.
in with the hook and hold there.
Yeah, big play right there. The 2 big men. We talked about how physical the game has been.
And Dorn misses the first one. It really has been a physical game here. 6 fouls on either team. And Dorn hits the second. You get the explanation of what a flagrant 1 is there.
Yeah, and they got it exactly right. There was the initial foul on Dorn, and then the shove out of bounds by Bonk. They did not rise to the level of the hook and hold. They left it at flagrant 1, but I think they got it all right. Hopefully both teams settle down, and we'll get back to basketball.
Now here we go. Avdalas running the point for the Hokies. And to maneuver his way through this physical game. Tobi Lawal gets fouled. And another foul on Bonk.
And that's a big foul, as much as Avdalas, who's back in the game, by the way, with 2 fouls for Virginia Tech.
So 2 fouls on Anton Bonk.
To the line for the Hokies, number 1, Tobi Lawal. Shooting 2.
Yeah, I think the Hokies have a little more depth and can withstand Avdalas being on the bench, but it will really change Charlotte's chemistry on the floor with Bonk going out, and it looks like he's going to be replaced by 6'7" Ethan Butler.
Lawal hits the first of 2.
Of course, they have Mading in the game already at 6'11", so they're still a big basketball team.
Yeah, they got a lot of size that's providing a little bit of irritation to what Virginia Tech is trying to do offensively today.
I think both teams defensively have been a little irritating. But and the offense helps with that by driving the basketball and creating that contact opportunity.
So 6 points for Bonk, and then goes to the bench with a couple of fouls. 49ers trying to pick up some points with the 7'2" big man on the bench now. There's Mading.
You see the open middle, everybody outside the arc for Charlotte.
Mading from the elbow, able to sink it.
They really like this guy, and they thought he was a potential starter, and he was injured this fall, and finally getting healthy.
Hammond back running the point, lost the ball, re-corrals it. Moving lower into the shot clock here. That's what the 49ers wanted to do with Virginia Tech. Out of a double team, Lawal can't get any help off of the glass, and a rebound goes the way of Charlotte's Dzane Mingo. Mingo bounces out. Major Freeman thought about it from the logo. Penetrates, spins, misses. Got his own rebound here, pumps and swatted away. Tobi Lawal. An emphatic block, if there ever was one, for the senior from England.
Virginia Tech's gotten a lot of national attention early this year. Some of it due to Avdalas, obviously, but Tobi Lawal is one of the best athletes in America that's playing basketball, probably playing any sport.
And much like what we were talking about with Bonk, this is a guy for Virginia Tech that didn't really play basketball until his late teen years.
Yeah, and he continues to improve because of that. Had a great offseason, went through the NBA process, the draft camp, and all that kind of thing, but also got bigger and stronger in the weight room.
Now, Tamara, go ahead.
When I was talking to the team earlier today and I asked about the athleticism of this team, the first thing they said was Tobi Lawal jumps to the moon. Teams have to respect him. So if that says anything about his athleticism, I mean, come on. I can't jump to the moon. I'm 5'2". So.
He certainly does jump to the moon, and we saw that even in a pretty tough year for Virginia Tech basketball last year. Tobi Lawal had great moments for Virginia Tech. Now you're starting to see this team gel a little bit more. The talent has been elevated for the Hokies this year, and that just means his impact has grown.
Averaging a double-double along with Hansberry, a great offensive rebounder, giving the Hokies a lot of second chance points, and that's why they're averaging nearly 100 points a game.
Lost the timeline. Charlotte able to force the turnover as Bedford lost the ball.
Yeah, not a good job right there. You come across midcourt, you better have somewhere to go with it because the trap is coming. New
defensive game so far that we've seen here. Lots of physicality. Avdalas off of the floor right now for Virginia Tech. Hansberry back on, though.
Yeah, Coach Fern felt their defense was way ahead of their offense at this point during the season.
They got off to a bit of a slow start against Davidson a few days ago. Had a late surge, could not come back and win that one, but the offense looked good there, courtesy Bradford.
Yeah, can really drive the basketball, and that's his first thought. He will shoot a three if he's wide open, but
speaking of wide open, Tyler Johnson was open. He missed. What a rebound from Bedford. Puts it on the deck and swirls it in.
He continues to do something a little new every game, doesn't he?
13 points for the UNLV transfer. He started 5 of 6 from the field. Freeman.
Stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds. Another turnover forced by this Hokies team.
Watch Bedford elevate and then finish against the size down low.
It's been the Jailen Bedford show so far here today. A couple of threes. That's his first rebound of the day, but 13 points.
The Hokies have a lot of different people who can score big numbers. And, so far, they've shared the basketball. 5 people in double figures averaging. Of course, when you score almost 100 points a game, a lot of people do score double figures.
Tech has looked good so far this year, and everybody has really noticed the balanced effort of Virginia Tech, specifically from a guy like Hansberry, who misses it off of the side of the backboard there.
And Meding with the contest there at the rim.
Charlotte back within single digits, though. 9-point lead for Virginia Tech. Mingo tries his luck. Bit short. Goes right to Major Freeman. Mingo, another try at it. In and out on the 3. These offensive rebounds are piling up for Charlotte.
Yeah, a lot of athleticism on the floor for Charlotte. Nice job of pursuing the ball.
Meding. Shot clock inside of 6 now. Poked loose by Hammond. Mingo's going to have to make a play. Gives over to Meding for 3. Able to hit it at the buzzer. That just feels like such a big shot for Charlotte.
Yeah, 10 offensive rebounds for Charlotte. We talked about the Hokies on the offensive rebounds. They have 8, but Charlotte kept that ball alive.
3 for 3 for Meding, who has not played yet this season. Jailen Bedford, though, continues his hot streak.
Yeah, and the nice pass by Hammond. He shrunk the defense, found Bedford on the wing.
He's got 16 points so far. Bradford answers with a layup.
Bradford getting going, isn't he? 16 points.
See, the Hokies continue to feed Bedford here. There he is, top of the key. Now for Hammond. Hammond with a nifty dribbling. Swinging out Bedford, wide open for the tray. There's a miss. Hansberry throws it back in, and it hits the referee. So that brings us to a break. Hokies up by 7. Jailen Bedford's been hot, and so's Meding, Mac.
Welcome back to Castle Coliseum, where the Hokies lead the 49ers 33-26. And the 49ers are not going away without a fight. They're chipping away at the Hokies' lead, and it's a big part of Ben Bradford. He's had 2 of their 3 last baskets, and I caught up with Ben Bradford and told him that, hey, your head coach said you had the best offseason by a mile. Why is that? He was like, the new guys, they're pushing me. They came in and they brought me to another level. Those results have shown up immediately. That's why I had 31 points in the season opener, and I plan on carrying that over tonight. Guys?
Yeah, thanks, Tamara. Ben Bradford's looked good here, keeping the Hokies at bay. 33-26 after Virginia Tech had such a dominating win against St. Joseph's, and a bit of a close one here, a little close for comfort for the Hokie fans in attendance against this 49ers team. And just like that, Ben Bradford sinks a turnaround jumper.
3 baskets in the last 4 possessions. Charlotte also doing a great job on the backboard, 19-16 with 10 offensive rebounds. That's a place where Virginia Tech expected to have a little bit of advantage.
Avdalas backing in has been a bit quiet on the offensive end today. Hansberry too high and short on that 3. Now trying to make it a 1-possession game.
Charlotte also with 16 points in the paint. A lot of it either on the penetration or off penetration by drawing help and kicking it to the bigs.
And there's Bradford, who's got the hot hand for the 49ers. Drives in, gets blocked, but a foul called on Lawal.
Yeah, you can see the confidence growing that Coach Fern talked about in Bradford. as the game goes on, and they also are working a little bit deeper into the shot clock, slowing this game down a little bit.
And that's exactly what Fern wanted to do.
Yeah, and Lawal has a little bit of an argument. He did stay kind of straight up, but there was contact. Bradford to the free throw line.
And this is the front end of those two.
Been very good so far this year, 11 for 13 coming into today.
He mentioned something there about Charlotte. One of the things that Coach Fern talked about with us yesterday, his goals for the game today, try to get Virginia Tech to work all the way into the shot clock.
Yeah, and they've done a little bit of that defensively, and on the other end, they've occupied the basketball here, especially in the mid part of this half.
2 minutes left to go before halftime. Swing it down low. Hansberry wasn't ready.
Yeah, miscue there, a little unforced error. Yeah, actually had two people standing Hansberry up in the lane. Lawal was wide open on the wing.
Bradford. It's a screen. Penetrates. Pump fake. And a foul is called. Bradford wants the bucket to count on the goaltending.
Yeah, blocked on the way up. And Hokies have been very good about taking care of the basketball. Near the top of the ACC in assist to turnover ratio, number 3 in turnover margin.
And he did not hit it, so it will not count as a basket there. First one goes for Bradford. And it's a lane violation. Free throw counts. And now it is a one-possession game.
Gives Charlotte a chance to set up their full court pressure. This time it's just token to slow the Hokies down a little bit. Hokies get to execute in the half court.
Now Virginia Tech is led by as large as 13. And now it's down to a three-point game. Force it out to Hansberry. Everyone's in the paint right now for Charlotte. Lawal tries his luck from 3 and tickles the twine. That's a huge bucket for Virginia Tech.
Shot nearly 37% last year. He hadn't shot as well this year, but something that he's worked on in the offseason. Took that with a lot of confidence. That was a big basket for Tech.
Back up to a two-possession ball game after Virginia Tech went scoreless for 2.5 minutes. Here come the Hokies in transition. Jailen Bedford takes a quick 3 and buries it for the Hokies.
Hammond made a turnover the last time, but this time made up for it, finding Bedford wide open, and another turnover for Charlotte.
Now Charlotte a bit discombobulated here after the big bucket from Bedford and Lawal. Back-to-back threes, and all of a sudden the lead is back up to 9.
Lawal, after an offensive rebound, makes the 3, and then in transition, Hammond with the dime to shoot in the corner.
So now 39-30. Virginia Tech going to try to make its way through the pressure of Charlotte here. 1 minute left to go here in the first half. Charlotte is hung in there against this 3-0 Virginia Tech team. Here's Ben Hammond. Hammond draws a foul. Good job by the pesky point guard there. He'll go to the line.
Lead was down to 3, back-to-back threes, and just like that, back to a 9-point lead, and Hammond goes to the free throw line.
Virginia Tech, you see that those threes have made a huge difference today. Virginia Tech has hit 6 of them. Whereas for Charlotte, 49ers have only hit 1 triple so far in this game.
Yeah, and that was as the shot clock ran out. Medine from the top of the key.
Front end of the 1-and-1. It's Virginia Tech back up to a double-digit lead.
Hokies have shot really well from the floor, really well from 3 on the season, but they haven't been as good from the free throw line. And I think this will be a good free throw shooting team, but so far only 67%.
And that's a productive trip to the free throw line for the Hokies point guard. And Mike Young calls a timeout. We're going to break here. 41-30, Virginia Tech up 11 here in the first half. 41.5 seconds left before halftime. Hokies have 41 points themselves up against Charlotte here. 49ers have made this a bit of a tougher game than I think some Hokie fans watching this would have anticipated, Mac.
Yeah, and most of the work's been done in the paint, either rebounding the basketball where they hold a 20-18 advantage with 10 offensive rebounds. And Virginia Tech has shot the ball well from the perimeter outside. Now, shooting 6 for 13 and good from the free throw line, but not so well overall at 41% for the half.
A big difference, like we mentioned before we went to break, 6 threes for Virginia Tech, just 1 for Charlotte. Mingo lost the ball, tie-up forced, keeps the ball with the 49ers. Well, the physicality and that intensity, even with Charlotte playing very tough against Virginia Tech, Hokies have responded likewise against Aaron Fern's team.
Yeah, both these teams have had some physical challenges already. Davidson is always a tough team. Charlotte lost to them in their last outing, and the Providence game and the St. Joe's game for Virginia Tech both got very physical.
Mingo looking for a screen. Goes up against Hansberry, misses it, but Mading cleans it up.
Same thing. If you got to help on the penetration, you can't block your man out.
Shot clock now off. Virginia Tech going to take the last shot here with Hammond running the point. Hammond veers left. Over to Lawal. He's got to shoot it himself, and a foul booked on Spencer Elliott. Oh, and the redshirt sophomore from Atlanta was not excited to hear that whistle. Thought he had a good defensive play there, and instead, Lawal's going to go to the free throw line 3 times with just half a second left.
See if we can see the contact right here. Yeah, he gets him on the wrist. He really has no gripe about that, and he broke the golden rule, fouling the jump shooter, and he compounded it by doing it with 0.5 of a second left in the half.
Well, Lawal hits the first one. He's an 81% free throw shooter so far this year. Make it 2 in a row. It could end up being a huge foul, as Charlotte had been pretty close in this game against Virginia Tech. And now it's as if that shot went in. Lawal converts all 3. Elliott with the heave. And that is it for the first half here in Blacksburg. 44-32.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
Great stuff from our own Tamara Brown there with head coach Aaron Fern. Mentioned the threes. Charlotte, 1 of 9 from beyond the arc. Hokies have hit 6. And now back out with the starting lineup, Neokli Avdalas, who's been quiet today thanks to getting 2 fouls early. And Jailen Bedford misses a 3 to start it out here in the second half.
Yeah, the threes basically are the difference in the score. Hokies also got to the free throw line 15 times versus only 8 for the 49ers.
Anton Bonk back into the game, the 7'2" center. He also missed a solid portion of that first half thanks to getting 2 fouls. So see what they can do with him in the low post here. Shot clock down to 3, and a foul booked on Hansberry. That's his second of the game.
Yeah, Hokies did a nice job defensively that time. They had some switch opportunities and did it aggressively, but the foul right there resets the clock for Charlotte at 20.
Feed inside, Major Freeman can't get it to go, and Lawal able to snare his 7th rebound of the ball game. Backing in, Tyler Johnson, a guy we haven't talked about much yet today. Hansberry gets called for a foul again. Oh, a quick 2 fouls for Hansberry here in the second half. He now has 3.
Yeah, and the Hokies, see it right here. Yeah, a little bit aggressive, going for the ball against Bradford. And the Hokies played 10 minutes of the first half without Avdalas, and already Hansberry on the bench here to start the second half.
Mingo goes under the hoop and finds a way to get the layup to fall for a, now it to be 44-34. Back to a 10-point deficit.
Mingo only has 6 points, but he's had a big impact on this offense with his penetration.
Bedford feeds inside, returns back out. Here comes Bedford, can't get it to go. And the Hokies guard will go to the line.
That's on Charlotte's 49, Anton Bond. That's his third personal.
I like that. You know, Bedford missed the three to start the half, and good shooters got to keep shooting, but shot fake and drive to the hole was not a bad decision at all.
Well, Jailen Bedford leading the way for Virginia Tech here. Even with the fouls, you feel like it's a little bit of a quiet day for Neokli Avdalas, and everybody that's been tuning into Virginia Tech basketball kind of expects the freshman to really take over the ball game every time. That's been unfair.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough thing to expect when you're in and out of the game and don't play but half the game itself. He'll make his impact on this game, I assure you.
Might get an assist here if the shot falls. Oh, wow, talk about an impact. The rebounds accumulating for him.
How about this?
It's the return feed and the slam with two hands.
You could see it coming.
Hokies back up by 13. Ding lays down the screen for Mingo.
There's that penetration that disrupts everything.
Speaking of disruption, Tyler Johnson reaches in, and a foul called on the aggressive defense there for the sophomore.
3 quick fouls for Virginia Tech in the first 2 minutes of the second half.
And another look at this, Mac.
Knocked it away right there, but a little shove with that right hand. Jerry Heater all over that call. Bad news for the Hokies, but the right call.
That's Johnson's second. So 3 Hokies with 2 fouls, and Avdalas, Tyler Johnson, and Jaden Shute. Hansberry with 3 now. Driving inside, Major Freeman with the right hand.
That's really nice. Bumped the defender, created some space. Always looking to score is Freeman.
Avdalas draws the foul on the penetration. Avdalas has only taken 2 shots today, does have a pair of assists. 1 rebound, and now we'll throw the ball in for the Hokies. Bedford. Lawal's wide open from the wing. Mading.
Yeah. You see Mading did get to start in that second half, didn't he?
Hadn't played it all this year and has been a major contributor for the 49ers. Tyler Johnson pulls down another board. That's his 4th. There is Neo. Bedford was wide open, but only for a moment. Bounce to Dorn, and Antonio Dorn. There's a name we haven't talked about much in this season for Virginia Tech. He's gotten a lot of burn today.
Yeah, and you knew he would with the size differential in the team. And that started when Charlotte chose to double team Avdalas at midcourt.
Turn around, no good. Here is Dorn, picks up the rebound and a foul.
The Bronx cheer. There's a nice play. Bedford drew 2. You had a double team at midcourt, then the ball came out of that double team, then another double team, and Dorn gets the bunny.
Antonio Dorn had played in the last 2 games. Now with a career high with such a small sample size, he's now got 5.
Set play right here. Avdalas creating that double team.
Bedford wide open again. Boy, what a day for Bedford. Now with 20 points for Virginia Tech.
Avdalas gets no credit. He made that play by accepting the double team and making the right decision.
Now Bradford. Hokies feeling it a bit here in the second half. Bradford backing into Dorn. Doesn't like it. 5 in the shot clock. Bradford, he'll go to the line.
Bradford is clever with that ball. Crafty, whatever term you want to use.
Well, he's been standing out for Charlotte this year, and Aaron Fern will not hesitate to mention that he is the hardest working man on this Charlotte team.
Called him an everyday player. Coaches love everyday players because you know what you're going to get from them every single day.
You guys talked about what Coach Fern said about Bradford. Well, I asked Bradford, what type of guy are you? Who are you? He said, I'm a downhill guard who works incredibly hard on both ends. My game starts downhill. I like attacking, and everything else comes from that. I take pride in my physicality and my defense. Guys?
Hey, certainly played downhill today. He's kept Charlotte in it. Even though Virginia Tech has jumped back up to a 14-point lead here. Largest lead was 16 just moments ago. Trying to add to that with now Ben Hammond running the point for Virginia Tech. There's Hammond and Jailen Shute trading the ball around. And a foul called on Charlotte.
Yeah, Mading wrestling down low with Dorn.
Bringing us to a break. 52-38. Hokies up here in the second half. Welcome back to Blacksburg, everyone. 52-38. Mac, this is an old Metro Conference matchup.
Yeah, that was a great basketball league. Look at those schools, and all of them are still pretty darn good in basketball. And Charlotte and Virginia Tech met quite a few times.
Yeah, this is actually the first matchup between the 49ers and the Hokies since 1999. An old Metro Conference matchup. Okay, so when you went to school at Virginia Tech, were they in the Metro Conference? I guess, okay, 1970. All right.
We were independent. And proud of it.
Gotcha, all right.
Back before all this conference realignment started.
Bonk back into the game for Charlotte. An interesting matchup to watch with the two 7-footers down low, him and Dorn.
How about that shot for Shute out of the timeout? Again, Mike Young special.
Bonk takes a three. Able to hit it.
He's such a good player.
Jailen Shute over to Hammond. Hokies trying to have a quick answer after the big man sinks a three. He's a 50% three-point shooter this year. There is Hammond.
Getting blocked by Bradford.
Three on the way. Damon Harrison answers with a triple of his own.
Did we mention it? When he has it, he shoots it?
And Aaron Fern had talked about Damon Harrison as a guy that can heat up quick. Charlotte needs the entire team to do that here. Lawal from long range. Too hard. And Bonk able to collect the rebound.
Back-to-back threes by Charlotte has cut this lead. And another look.
Anton Bonk with a heat check there. That got swatted and almost fell into the hoop.
My question right now is, how did Bonk not play much at Providence? This guy is good.
Well, that's such an interesting thing for the big man for Charlotte, how he hadn't played that much basketball before this. But these two threes igniting Charlotte. They only hit one the entire first half.
Cut the lead from 17 to 11 in a hurry. Again, math not being our strong suit. I worked it out, ciphering here on the paper. Noughts.
Here's Avdalas trying to heat up for Virginia Tech. Get the whole team to heat up around him here. Jailen Shute open for three. And airballs it. Well, he was short on that. Off of a screen, Harrison pops a three. It's inside of single digits now after 2 threes from Damon Harrison.
The Southern Indiana transfer, a native of Atlanta.
There's Jailen Shute as Harrison was down in the backcourt. A three falls for the Hokies, and now a whistle. They're going to check on Damon Harrison.
Harrison looking to talk to somebody.
So he hits the three.
Oh, Yeah, it was a big collision, but I think he initiated the contact, to be honest.
That seemed like a fair screen.
And Dorn never moved. He's a big body against a small body, but
legal nonetheless. There's VR. 6 on the shot clock and gets slapped. And there's a foul. Physical matchup continues here. That's been the story of this ball game.
And this may be the continuation rule right here. 2 shots in the act of shooting. A new interpretation right now that he was going up for the shot, and he will go to the free throw line.
And VR goes to the line, having only shot 5 free throws so far this year, the freshman from Barcelona. And he hits the first one. Played for FC Barcelona's B and A team before coming to play college basketball in the United States with Charlotte.
VR is very skilled. Not a big scorer, but a good passer, and obviously can knock down some free throws. He's now 5 of 7 on the season. Charlotte in a little zone defense.
What are the Hokies going to do to get around that? Dorn open at the free throw line and takes a shot. Oh, Charlotte still creeping here. Just a 9-point deficit. There's Harrison. Almost able to bounce it home, but instead, Lawal with 9 rebounds.
Single-digit game here.
Hammond trying to change that, floats it up, back iron, no good.
And Bonk didn't block it, but he affected that shot.
So here is Harrison, down to Bonk, the matchup we've been watching all day. Bonk unable to get it. Elliott able to get the rebound though. And Charlotte can reset with 20 on the shot clock, now dwindling down to 15.
Yeah, Bonk kept that rebound alive. Another offensive rebound for Charlotte. Good play by Shoot.
Telegraph that feed from Spencer Elliott. Single-digit game in Blacksburg, 58-49, under 12 to go. Well, we're starting to see the three-point shooting heat up for Charlotte, Mac. They only hit 1 three-pointer in that first half, and now 3 here in the second.
Yeah, and efficiently 3 out of 5, and that's a big difference.
And Damon Harrison able to hit 2 of those after a relatively quiet first half, and now Damon Harrison has 8, 3 of 6 from the field so far for Charlotte, and this is a single-digit game all of a sudden in this physical matchup between the Hokies and the 49ers.
Hansberry back in for Virginia Tech.
Hansberry got those quick 2 fouls to start us off here in the second half. Tamara Brown on the sideline. Tamara.
Guys, I stepped into the Hokies huddle, and Coach Young immediately said, number 10 is cooking, and we have to do something about it. He then turned to Amani Hansberry and said, you're in. I need you on the floor. Hansberry then turned to his team and said, we have to fix our energy. We're only up 9. Come on, guys.
They have missed Hansberry here a little bit in this second half, and he got those fouls so quickly within a span of about 6 seconds as Avdalas turns around and it pops out for the freshman. The Hokies amplifying the defense. Here is Bonk. Drive in.
Avdalas with just his 3rd shot on the other end.
Now 1 of 3 for the day. There is Harrison. And just like Mike Young had been talking about, he has been cooking for Charlotte. Now has 10 points for the 49ers.
Yeah, and that was against Bedford, probably the best one-on-one perimeter defender for Virginia Tech. He along with Tyler Johnson.
Avdalas steps back for three. No good. Rebound Blackman. 7-point game. Charlotte coming out of the American Conference, trying to make a statement here against Virginia Tech and Blacksburg. Hokies coming off of a 35-point win against St. Joseph's. Now in a bit of a tough fight here as Harrison continues his second half. Now has 13 for Charlotte with his third three of the second half. 4-point game, Mac.
And Damon Harrison is the reason that Charlotte is back in it. He's done it from long range, he's done it from mid-range, and he is playing with a ton of confidence for Coach Fern and the 49ers.
He's been red hot for Charlotte in these last two contests. He's able to pick up double digits in the performance against Davidson, but now trying to convert it into a win here today. And a foul called on Jailen Blackman as Neokli Avdalas was able to draw the foul.
Guys, I was just in the 49ers huddle, and Coach Fern said, the two things I asked of you at halftime, compete your butt off and be physical. Let's do that for 10 minutes.
And they certainly have here for the first 10 minutes of the second half. Avdalas backing in, fades and misses. Foul called, and keeping it on this side of the basketball court here for Virginia Tech.
That'll put Virginia Tech in the 1-1.
Right now, that's just 5 fouls for Virginia Tech and the 7th for Charlotte. Avdalas getting a quick moment to talk with head coach Mike Young. You can sense a little bit of frustration there for the freshman from Greece. Shots aren't falling. Missing the front end of the 1-1 and into the hands of Elliott for Charlotte. Oh, just a 4-point game.
And they actually have Avdalas on Harrison now.
Tyler Johnson booked with the foul. That's now his 4th foul. His 3rd personal, excuse me.
And they'll switch up now. Tyler Johnson came into the game during that last timeout, and he's in the game to guard Harrison. Avdalas had him on a switch.
Elliott hands off Harrison. The red hot hand for Charlotte. Open three, and it's good for Mading. 1-point game off of the three from Coel Mading. 58-57.
A couple of guys who hadn't been big factors for Charlotte. Big factors today for Coach Fern.
Charlotte looking for its first lead of the game. Bedford steps back for three. Can't hit it. Lawal wrestles for the rebound, goes up for two, and draws the foul.
Offensive rebounds are going to be big for Virginia Tech down the stretch, and Hansberry and Lawal are two of the best in the ACC at that.
Making another double-double for Lawal, but you can't say enough about Coel Mading here. Had not played all season. And the graduate student from High Point, North Carolina, has been a star. 12 points. He hasn't missed a shot.
Moved back closer to his home, obviously, in Charlotte. And has 3 fouls also. And he is going to play alongside Bonk now.
Well, that free throw for Lawal stops a 10-0 run for Charlotte. Hokies have led by as much as 17 points. That was just 6 minutes ago. And Lawal makes it a pivotal trip to the free throw line. 3-point lead for Virginia Tech.
Castle Coliseum getting into this one, Braley.
Yeah, trying to spark some momentum for this Virginia Tech team that has been largely without it for the better part of 6 minutes. Mingo up against Avdalas. Mingo turns around, mid Mid-range rattles home. What a bucket for the senior from Canada.
Yeah, he hadn't scored a lot, but he has created a lot of offense for them. And that time he said, I've got this one.
Here is Avdalas. Hokies protecting a 1-point lead. Avdalas veers left. Lawal's open. So is Bedford. Back to Lawal. Corner three. Swatted into the hands of Bradford. Here comes the guard for Charlotte, trying to take the lead. 49ers have not led today. Mingo calls for the screen. Mingo penetrates. Pump fake, foul called. That's going on Avdalas.
And a smart play again.
Third foul for Neo Avdalas. Charlotte looking for the lead when we come back, Mac.
One-on-one, Mingo against Avdalas, backs him down, shot fake, knocks the bottom out. Charlotte is 9 for 16, just 26% for Virginia Tech.
So here is Mingo going to the line. Charlotte has not led all game.
And he's an outstanding free throw shooter, 9 of 11 on the year, over 80% last year at Marshall.
First of two shots, misses. And the Castle guard loving that.
Students are into it. They turned out today.
Have been turning out in the last few games for Virginia Tech men's basketball. Misses both. Those are huge misses, but Hansberry, it goes off of his hands.
Yeah, and that was Bonk pressuring him from behind that caused him to knock the ball out of bounds.
So still a 1-point lead for Virginia Tech.
Charlotte with a chance to take the lead.
Bit of an antsy crowd here now as Virginia Tech's lead has dwindled down to 1. Ben Bradford, who had a great close to the first half, goes up to the rim, misses the shot, and a foul is called him a ding.
That'll be his 4th, I think.
And it is.
And that was a blocked shot by Lawal.
Look at Tyler Johnson skying up to the glass.
And there's the block. And there's the rebound.
Well, if Virginia Tech ends up winning this game, you got to think about that possession right there. That was just great defense for the Hokies.
Yeah, and if you think about it from Charlotte's perspective, they missed 2 free throws and got a layup blocked. Came away with no points with a chance to take the lead.
So Meding goes to the bench. Big free throw there for the sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Tyler Johnson now with 3 points for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, doesn't get to the free throw line often, but pretty good shooter. He's 4 for 6 on the season now.
Marks up his second one. And a good trip to the line for the Hokies. Jaden Shute checking back in. Jailen Bedford goes to the bench.
And Harrison also out of the game. So the 2 guys who really have gotten Charlotte in it on the bench right now.
What can Elliott and company do here? Bradford feeds over to Mingo. Mingo driving in. Bradford to tie it. No good. And wow, Lawal almost scraped the roof of Castle Coliseum to get that rebound.
Big defensive possession.
Avdalas feeds Hansberry. Jaden Shute, pump fake, 3 on the way. No good. Johnson offensive board. Back out.
Bodies everywhere.
Here's Lawal, he's open, he'll take the 3. No good. Hansberry locked up under the rim. And then we got some extracurriculars here between Bradford and Hansberry.
This crew's done a good job in a physical game, and they jumped in there to settle things down.
Another look at that.
Yeah, got him by the arm. Hansberry pulls away. Yeah, unnecessary, but that's a good job of officiating because it could have escalated in a hurry.
Right, it could have gotten worse. Two players we focused on in the open, Hansberry and Ben Bradford. And Bradford now with 3 fouls. A pair of 49ers with 3 fouls, Ben Bradford and Anton Bonk, and Meding with 4.
Yeah, and Fern trying to get Bradford out of there before something else happens. Bradford's not happy about it, but you got to keep your cool here. Coach Fern doing a nice job. He knows his players, and Hansberry gets the friendly bounce right there. I don't even know if that was a bounce, actually.
I think it just flopped in. Well, as Hansberry tries to convert this free throw, it's a big moment for Tech because Hokies have struggled from the field, Mac. They're one of their last 13.
Yeah, this whole second half has been a struggle from field goal range.
Back to a 2-score lead for Virginia Tech, 64-59. Mingo lets it fly. Bonk trying to get the rebound with Elliott. Throws it off of the leg of shoot, and it stays with the 49ers.
Nice hustle. Bonk keeping that. The Hokies having to rebound by committee down there because Bonk is just bigger than everybody else, but good play, good hustle by Spencer Elliott.
Mingo trying to get the ball in. He's taking his time. And a foul called on Virginia Tech. So that's on Tyler Johnson. He now has 4, Mac.
Yeah, and he's such a good defender and a reliable player for Coach Young, but he's going to have to take him out right now.
Oh, Jailen Bedford ready to check back in for the Hokies.
With a little bit smaller lineup, of course. That's a little bit of a misnomer when you have a 6'9" point guard.
Big trip to the line here for Damon Harrison, whose 13 points lead all 49ers, and now has 14.
Yeah, Harrison back in. Meding still on the bench. I'm sure he'll be there till sometime under the 5-minute mark, but getting a little rest over there too.
Trying to make it a 1-score contest and can't do it there.
Lawal got that rebound, but Hansberry made it possible by blocking out Bonk.
Can the Hokies close this game out with 6.5 minutes left? Led by as much as 17, missed their last 9 shots from the field. The feed inside, Hansberry can't get the roll. Lawal was ready. Offensive board, his second one of the possession, and that one rolls on in for Virginia Tech, getting the Hokie crowd into it.
Lawal has just continued to get better in his 2-year stint here in Blacksburg.
Hokies have missed 10 in a row. Lawal leading the way with 16 points for the Hokies. As that layup goes, Mingo with a quick answer for Charlotte.
Have I mentioned how much I like Mingo? What a point guard.
So as the Hokies get on offense, Tobi Lawal, career high
There's that
in
double
rebounds
team
with 14. Foul call before the shot.
Yeah, the double team and everybody, the Hokies are going to have their choice of shots. 2 people following the ball. Somebody is wide open.
That double team has really been a constant theme here today for Charlotte against Neokli Avdalas. And Virginia Tech in the second half, even with those open shots, they were unable to convert on them, and that's how Charlotte got back into this game.
Yep, Hansberry's been perfect from the free throw line today. He was 8 for 11 coming into today. Now he's 13 for 15 on the season.
He's got 9 total points for Virginia Tech. 68-62. Mingo finds Harrison, another 3. Bouncing out to Mingo. Wants to give Harrison another chance. Calling for some help right in front of his bench. Screen from Elliott. Mingo dribbles. Harrison this time from the right wing. Too short, another offensive board.
Bradford with a huge offensive rebound after Mingo got one previously. Third chance for Charlotte. See if it's the charm.
A senior from Canada driving in on Avdalas. Layup can't go. Goes out of bounds. Who's it with? Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it was off Mingo that time. Yep.
Big defensive stance there for Virginia Tech despite 3 offensive rebounds for Charlotte.
There it is. There's that last little touch just on fingertips. 2-3 zone for Charlotte.
Charlotte's had a couple of chances here. Have not been able to convert. But Virginia Tech keeping them in it. Staying ice cold from the field. Bedford trying to change that. Bank wasn't open. Rebound Bradford.
Hokies got it to where they wanted. High post out for a 3-point shot.
Lob it up for Anton Bonk.
And Bradford with the assist.
68-64, back to a 4-point game.
Trying to get them lined up defensively. Back in that zone again.
Actually inside Hansberry. Avdalas for 3. He's been cold today, Avdalas. Charlotte gonna cut down on this once again. They have not led all day. Bonk on Hansberry. Bonk, stutter step, foul is called. And that's 4 on Amani Hansberry. 4-point game, Anton Bonk heating up.
The drive, the help, and that leaves the big guy ready for an easy 2-point basket.
Damon Harrison leading Charlotte with 12 points in the second half. He only had 2 there before we went to the halftime intermission, and Charlotte has stormed back as a result. Hokies have been cold from the field. Anton Bonk, he's in double figures as well, and he's made it a 1-score game with that first free throw.
Yeah, he has not been a good free throw shooter, but he's such a good 3-point shooter. I imagine that may be just because of a small sample size.
Both free throws nailed there. 2-point game. Tying a career high. Aaron Fern so excited about the potential of Anton Bonk. And before this game and before he got to Charlotte, only played in 24 basketball games of 10 minutes or more. So this is a guy that's not even an experienced basketball player making a difference. You know who is experienced? Jailen Shoot.
And then after the timeout, set play from Mike Young. Gets a wide open 3 again.
71-66. A huge 3 for Jailen Shoot, now in double figures with 12, coming off of the bench for the Hokies.
Lawal did a nice job of cutting Mingo off right there.
Bradford backing in, pump fake, spins, too short, rebound Johnson.
Good job by Johnson contesting the shot, blocking out, getting the rebound.
Avdalas draws a foul. And it goes on Spencer Elliott.
Yeah, and Avdalas, about the only thing Avdalas hasn't done well this year is shoot free throws. And again, we're only talking about 3 games in. He's 3 for 8. And there's the foul by Elliott. Easy call for the officials.
Avdalas will be shooting 2 here.
He has struggled shooting the ball today.
Yeah, just 1 of 6 from the field. Another minute on that free throw, though.
Looked pretty good on that one, didn't he? Form is outstanding.
So on the season, Had shot under 70% in those first 3 games. The free throws have made a huge difference today, as now Tech is 23 of 28 from the free throw line in this ball game.
Those are winning kind of numbers, and probably you can point to that being the reason they're ahead right now.
Only up 7, and a foul called off the ball. It goes on Jailen Shoot.
Yeah.
And that's 4 on the sharpshooter for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and he needs to leave the official alone.
Now, there are a lot of players out there with 4 fouls. With under 3 minutes left, you can expect it here. Shoot, Johnson, and Hansberry for Virginia Tech. And Coel Meding for Charlotte, now with 4 as well as he returns to the floor. First free throw good for Damon Harrison.
There you see it, and that could be a huge factor, especially if it gets into overtime.
Harrison trying to make that a possibility. Goes 1 of 2 at the charity stripe there. 15 rebounds for the senior from England in Lawal.
That's been a big part of the reasons the Hokies are still ahead, too.
Off of the screen, Hansberry. He won in Lawal out in the corner, and he was cutting in.
Oh.
Another
miscommunication right there.
Another miscommunication for Virginia Tech.
Not many turnovers today, though.
No, that was the first one of the second half for either team.
And the Hokies went 25 minutes against Providence with just 2 turnovers in that shootout.
2.5 minutes to go. 7-point lead for Virginia Tech. Make it a 6-point lead. Meding, another 3. And a rare miss for Meding in this game. Foul called. That goes on Charlotte. And Aaron Fern is not happy about that whistle.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact on that rebound, but the Virginia Tech guy had the ball, so.
Fouls on Charlotte's 49 and Tom Bonk. That's his
And that
4th.
goes on Bonk, his 4th foul. So the 2 big men for the 49ers in trouble with 4 fouls, and Meding and Bonk.
Could have been Avdalas or Johnson that was fouled.
Front end to 2 for Avdalas. Every free throw just feels huge for Virginia Tech with those 2 big players in foul trouble with 4. Spencer Elliott also with 3. Bradford with 3 as well.
Free throws, like you mentioned, big today for Virginia Tech to maintain that lead.
8-point lead for Virginia Tech, 75-67. Hokies have hit 25 free throws today and force a miscommunication for Charlotte, their first turnover of the second half.
Yeah, Mingo's made so many good decisions. That was a bad one. He could have been a little more patient and thrown the ball up to Bonk.
Hokies looking for a dagger field goal here. Haven't hit many field goals in the second half. Avdalas goes into the paint, draws a foul.
Is that Meding?
And looked like it was close to being Bradford there.
Yep, it's Bradford.
And it is on Bradford, so his 4th. Now 3 49ers with 4 fouls. Another look at this one.
To the line for the Hokies,
Yeah,
17.
not a lot there, but
Avdalas is perfect at the free throw line so far today, and stays perfect, 5 for 5.
Checking back in for the Hokies, 0. Jailen Bedford.
Jailen Bedford returns for Virginia Tech. Been a while since Bedford's gotten a bucket. He does lead all scorers with 20 points. And Neokli Avdalas, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. 10-point lead for Virginia Tech. Charlotte had climbed to within 1 multiple times and just could not convert. Damon Harrison, a couple of pump fakes, draws a foul.
Hansberry.
Foul's called on Virginia Tech's number 13.
And Damon Hansberry, his day is done. That's his 5th foul. Story of the game, a physical one, and we've gotten our first player to foul out.
Virginia Tech had a good situation right there. They had the man double teamed, could have just gone straight up, but just got a little too aggressive, and Hansberry is going to have to take a seat. The Hokies are going to go small right here.
Checking back in for the Hokies, number 2.
Hansberry did get him on the elbow.
Yeah, and what they might do right here is go small on offense and then sub on defense if there are dead balls.
Timeout on the floor, 10-point lead for Virginia Tech. Just a minute 48 left in this one. So Mac, you know, Charlotte was able to storm all the way back here. There's got to be a couple moments that the 49ers are going to kick themselves over if they're not able to pull off a pretty miraculous comeback here in the minute 48 remaining.
Yeah, they've had a couple big turnovers, a missed shot, the opportunity when they were at the free throw line and got 2 more rebounds and couldn't convert. But that last one was a big one because I think Mingo really, if he was just a hair more patient, could have gotten it to Bonk for an easy basket. But right now, they're going to have to knock down free throws. I don't think they can continue to play zone. They may continue to press, but I'm not even sure about that. They want the game to get up. They need as many possessions as they can because right now it stands with a 10-point lead for the Hokies.
Now, Charlotte had its chances. Hadn't had any field goals in almost 3 minutes. That's 2 minutes and 43 seconds without a field goal for the 49ers. Virginia Tech, meanwhile, has led by as much as 17. They've had some pretty clutch free throws down the stretch here.
Yeah, they have made clutch free throws for sure and gotten to the free throw line. And defensively, I think, is where they've won it, though. Tyler Johnson has been extremely good. Tobi Lawal has been guarding the point guard Mingo on multiple occasions. They've done a good job of communicating on switches so that they can contest shots, too. So I think, for the most part, Coach Young hasn't been happy with some of the defensive things. Down the stretch, they've been pretty darn good.
So a couple of free throws coming up for Damon Harrison, leading the 49ers with 15 points off of the bench. And this is that first free throw.
Yeah, he's missed a couple free throws now, and you know, he has not played that many minutes. He's only played 11 minutes a game today, 24 though, and 15 points.
You know, Charlotte trying to make some free throws in front of this Virginia Tech crowd. There's a lane violation as Avdalas slipped into the paint there.
Yeah, he's been right on the verge of that the whole game, but that time, a little off balance.
Second one goes 14 of 22 today from the line for the 49ers. Jailen Bedford. Hokies navigating through the press. Get it to an open Jaden Shoot. Trying to dribble this out, shoot, lob it up for Lawal. Hokies crowd loving that. The bounce goes out to the corner. Bradford for 3, nicks the rim. Shoot fighting for it, throws it in, and here come the Hokies. Neokli Avdalas.
So many weapons.
Energy is back around men's basketball here in Blacksburg. Bradford, another 3, swirls it in. 10-point game, just a minute and a second left to go. Dallas now in double figures with that dunk. And you could just tell Virginia Tech was waiting for a moment like this the entire game.
Yeah, and what a luxury Lawal is. It doesn't have to be perfect because anywhere up near that rim and above that rim, he can do it. And Bedford with the unselfish play, giving it up to Avdalas, who's not had a great field goal shooting day, but he didn't have any problem with that one wide open in transition.
Yeah, that dunk for Neokli Avdalas was just his second field goal made today. But if you're looking at the story of this game, Avdalas came in clutch with those free throws. He's perfect from the line today, and that really, as we have talked about before, Hokies made a huge difference at the charity stripe, going 27 of 32 as opposed to Charlotte's 14 of 22 from the line. Take a look at Neo's day. 10 points, Also has a couple of assists for the Hokies and 1 rebound. And every game's going to be Neo watching. Not everything is going to be chart popping or just going to be eye popping watching him play. But today he's made a couple of big plays and big moments, particularly at the line. I really couldn't say that enough because Virginia Tech was able to escalate its lead back up after Charlotte crept back in the second half with those free throws. And I think they're looking at a clock issue here, Mac. Well, Neo able to spark a little bit more here in the second half. Tamara with more on Neokli Avdalas.
When I asked Coach Young about him, he said he's as good as advertised. The best passer I've seen in 40 years of coaching. I love his size, vision, and his pro experience is already showing up, guys.
Yeah, I can definitely expect to see some dunks like that on the pro level, but there's still some growing and some just evolution that is going to happen throughout the year for Neokli Avdalas. You got to remember, this is just his 4th game in college basketball.
Yeah, and he's gotten bigger and stronger, and something we've talked about in the past. He's never been the guy, and now he is the guy. He's always been kind of a role player, and now the attention is on him. And I would argue that his stats today are a little bit deceiving because he was double-teamed a lot. He was in foul trouble a lot. And whenever he was double-teamed, he made the right decision. And Virginia Tech went through a stretch there where they couldn't knock down any open shots. And that also affected his stats on the day.
So now they have looked at what the clock is going to be. We're going to get an explanation here. Going to reset the clock here. All right, Mac.
Because the clock stopped prematurely after the dunk, so it'll be down to 58 seconds. It was a 3-second difference before it restarted after that dunk in transition.
So now 58 seconds left as opposed to 1 minute and 1 second. And now with only 5.8, we're going to have to figure out how to do this.
Yeah, I think Charlotte would object to that.
And there we go. Okay.
And they need our help because we are so good at math.
Yeah, we're so good. Oh my gosh, that's my worst nightmare. Everybody looking at me while I try to figure out how to fix the clock. No way. All right, now back, 58 seconds left. Hokies up 10. Now swarming Avdalas at midcourt. Shoot. There's a foul.
Yeah, and that was a good play by Charlotte. Try to get the trap, see if you can get the steal. After the pass out of the trap, you've got a foul. Because you've got to try to get as many possessions as possible.
It looks like Virginia Tech going to wrap this game up. Got a game in a few days, but it's really going to start getting a little bit tougher for Virginia Tech here at the end of the month of November, going down to the Bahamas in the battle for Atlantis.
Yeah, they've got a stretch coming up that's going to be very difficult down there. They've got Colorado State, possibly Wichita State or St. Mary's. Then they've got South Carolina and George Mason when they get back from there. So they've got a 5-game stretch where we're going to learn an awful lot about Virginia Tech men's basketball this season.
I can't leave out the game against Bryant in just a few days. That's going to happen here on the ACC Network Extra. Here's Damon Harrison. Boy, he's had a great day.
He really has. Came up a little limp right there, but he has certainly earned some playing time.
He gets booked with the foul. That's Damon Harrison's first foul.
I don't know if he cramped up on that shot or tweaked it when he came down. It looks like he just got a kind of walking off a cramp, but he has had a great day. 18 points now?
Yes, sir. 18 points, 3 3-pointers. As now Bedford goes to the line for 2. Now that is 30 free throws made for Virginia Tech, the most ever under Mike Young. And he's been here 7 years now.
Yeah, and he's had a lot of high-scoring games. He's such a great offensive coach, but maybe he's just doing such a good job getting open shots.
Major Freeman, the low pass to Mingo. Bonk cleans it up with a dunk.
And again, created by the penetration of Mingo. Somebody had to help, and that left Bonk with nobody to block him out.
It's going to be interesting to see what Charlotte is able to do here in the next few weeks. Got going
and in the American going
right.
forward, yeah.
Yeah, got App State coming up, a Sun Belt game, and then playing Shaw University. It'd be interesting to see what Aaron Fern's team can do, and what he had talked about with us yesterday. They're still learning each other as a timeout now is called. Get another look at this putback from Anton Bonk, who's put together a really great day for Charlotte.
Yeah, and see Lawal comes across to try to contest the shot, leaving nobody to block the big guy out, and I don't know if you can block him out. He's just big.
15 points, 10 rebounds for Anton Bonk. Career high for him. Didn't play much at Providence last year, a team that the Hokies just played 2 games ago and got the overtime victory. And Anton Bonk's going to be a problem in the American Conference.
Yeah, averaging a double-double already. Had 13 and 14 against Davidson. 15 and 10 here again today. So he is increasing those double-double numbers.
And back down to a single-digit lead for Virginia Tech as Tyler Johnson tries to get the ball in, and he does to Avdalas. He let that one go off his ankle.
Yeah,
Charlotte ball.
Good play by Bradford. Didn't let him have it, and when they threw it in, he contested that pass off Dallas's leg. And Bonk comes back in to try to add to those points.
Oh, Charlotte needs a couple of big shots here. Bradford jumping up and gets fouled. Tyler Johnson, that's his 5th.
Yeah, you just can't make that foul. You just can't make that foul. You can't stop the clock inside of 30 seconds with a 9-point lead.
Oh, Johnson's day done with 6 points for the Hokies. Look at the foul here.
See, in a little misdirection play, they threw it, screen going away from the ball. Tyler Johnson was aggressive, but you got to give that one up right there. You got to let him catch it and then defend him.
That's 2 Hokies that have now fouled out. Amani Hansberry and Tyler Johnson, 2 starters for Virginia Tech out of the game. Bradford misses.
The expression I was looking for is this: discretion would have been the better part of valor right there.
Look at you with your $8 words here. Let's go.
Yeah, we both went to the same school. It's easy, easy.
And Hammond running the point for the Hokies with the shot clock off, 84-76. And that will do it. So Virginia Tech going to 4-0 for the first time in 3 seasons and the 5th time in 7 years under head coach Mike Young. It was a tough one today, but the Hokies earned it. 84-76 with a win over Charlotte as the 49ers fall to 2-2. That was a great battle.